Morning. Just sprayed my palette, just give it a little bit of help to just soften the paints a little. Yellow, lemon yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey, and burnt sienna. That's my palette. You don't have to use them. They're Cotsman watercolours, 21mm tubes, Winsor & Newton. Very, very good for what we do. Wet in wet watercolour is the way I really like to work. So I'm using Fabriano, £130. You can buy that, if you're in the UK, you can buy that from Grantham's Art Discount or Curtis Ward in blocks of 100. It's really good for this. Now I'm going to try to demonstrate painting skies and just put a bit of landscape underneath. Back to basics really. I did a simple one the other day of the cottage by the bridge. And my technique is based on the old Ron Ranson wet in wet big brush watercolour, which I started, must be 30 years ago. Might even be longer than that. But I left watercolour alone for many years in favour of oil, which I don't use now because it affects my chest, but at least the solvents do. So I stick with acrylic and the watercolour, and I try to alternate between them to keep everybody happy. So what I basically do is wet the paper all over. So this sort of lubricates the paint. So good wet. And as it dries, the paper will, or as it soaks up the paint, sorry, as it soaks in the water, the paper will grow somewhat, and then we just reclip it. It's a 2-inch hake. This one's not a well-behaved one. They do vary. So, colours for sky. Well, I use Payne's grey, raw sienna, ultramarine, light red, alizarin crimson, burnt sienna, whatever you fancy. But it's making it easy as it looks. And I have had a lot of experience of doing these over the years. So what I do is just give a bit of raw sienna warm to the sky area, and if you want to put water in, you can just sort of bring it down. You don't want the water on this to be sopping wet, but with experience you learn to know what you can get away with. So we can put a little bit of light red in with that. That's a good colour. Put it all over, and then we'll have a bit of a grey, cloudy, streaky sky, which is my favourite. So a bit of bit of Payne's grey, bit of alizarin. Don't go too weak with it because the paint does dry much lighter than you put it on. So these should do for our clouds. This hake is getting quite old now and losing lots of its hair. A bit like me really. So we just stroke it in gently and go back over the top with a bit of darker paint. You can add a bit of blue with that as well. And now that will dry. We don't know how, but it will give us a basic sky. Now reclip the paper. I'll just put the hake back in the drink and just reclip. Nice and flat. You don't need to stretch your paper. Not at this way. You just need to keep it flat by stretching it out on the board. And I'm going to dry that now because I want to superimpose a background over that. Oops, turn the electric on. So that was a basic sky. You can do all sorts of variations on a theme with skies. I love doing them. They're always unpredictable, but you can put your blue in, You can put extra clouds in when that's bone dry, you can go over it again. But I like to go in one hit and leave it, forget about it, and get on with the landscape. So we'll put in some distant hills just as a backdrop, bit of alizarin, bit of blue. We'll just put that in like that. Just well, use all of the hay, not just a bit of it. And we can put a bit of burnt sienna in that mix. Okay, so that will do for a background. Now we'll do a bit of dry brushing or a bit of warmer colour. So I'm just mixing any old colour really. This is all the background. We'll detail this as we go, and we can put in a bit of burnt umber. Don't use a lot of burnt umber, but I should because it's a great colour. So, okay, that'll do for that. We'll just put some harder stuff in there. Keep your paint fairly thick, and just take off the hairs. Just the floor of a sort of wood I'm going to put in, and a bit of this. So a bit of green. Okay, that'll do. Just add a bit of green in that floor there. So Payne's grey, lemon yellow, burnt sienna or burnt umber, just to go nice. So we just put in some grasses and stuff there. Right, I'll give that a dry. Now you can see how simply that's gone in. It's just a support for the detail that's going to go over it, but we don't want to overclutter the painting. So we can build it up here, a bit of woody colour. So bit of greeny, bit of blue, bit of green, so the distance. So there's just a hard edged background for these the woods in the back, ignoring the I can't remember what I was going to say then. Anybody lives in my area, Sutton area of South London, I'm flogging my folding camper. It's getting too hard to put up now at my age. The wrist being not very good these days. Well, just that simple effort there. And I'm going to put in some harder stuff here now as a support for some spindly trees I'm going to put in. So we'll have some burnt sienna, a bit of Payne's grey, a bit of red. Oh, some of that here. See that lovely warm sienna. Let's go over that a bit more there. She's sort of making up as we go along. It's nothing too difficult. It's just flicking out with a nail or a bit of card, bit of plastic card. Just adds a little bit of detail in flat areas that gives an impression that there's something going on there. There's some trees. We haven't put any water in this, so let's just get in a bit of undulating grasses and stuff in the foreground here. Okay, let's just keep that a bit open there. Right, okay, I'll give that a try. Headphones off. So a little flicks of colour like that end up in the sky. Just they go into birds. Right, now we'll put in a bit of colour. This is where I use the edge of the brush here. That's not strong enough, so go back and reload. That's better. So we can just use the edge of the hake to come down here. Try not to make your trees symmetrical. We just add a little bit of stuff here, dry brush over that. And I can detail into that in a minute, and we'll put a bit of a bluer one further back here. Oh, I'll cover my bird up. So that'll do for there. Right, okay, so we'll dry that off. You don't want to repeat on one side what you've got on the other side. It just looks too, as if you're fitting everything in the middle. It's not a good idea. So let's put in some detail in those trees. Okay, just a dark mixed with whatever's available. You can get lovely random effects with the hake. I'll finish it off with a rigger though, because it's going to look how fine you can get those trunks. But we don't want it too fine, otherwise we're going to have to go up a bit higher. Okay. That'll do. Right, I'll use the rigger now. I'll go back over that side and we'll put in some bluey green here. This paper's quite smooth. It's a really nice one to work on. I mean, you can take real liberties with this sort of thing, but just have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously. Be worried about failing. You can always turn it over and paint it the other side, and it's cheap enough to waste a few in it. But don't throw away your ones that aren't so good, because I use mine for acrylics. Just prime over them with a colour and obliterate what's underneath that I didn't like, Even if it's a demo, they're not all acceptable. Some are, well, they look alright on the computer, but not so good in the flesh. Okay, right, no more than that, just a few bits of grass, just a little bit of detail. Just finish it off and then we'll put a signature on it. Yeah, my trailer, it's a camper. It opens up with a cabin with a bed either side of the floor space. It's quite compact, and I think it's designed for, well, the blurb says it's for 4, but it's very comfortable for 2. We have a bed each, but our days of camping now are behind us. Sad to say, I've had a lot of fun over the years. The trailer's not new, it's quite old now, it's about 20 years old, but it's still in very good condition. Contact me if you're interested. If you can come and actually have a look. If you're interested, you'll need a tow bar or towing hitch to tow it away, but I expect to get something in the region of $695 for it, but open to the odd offer, a realistic offer. A lot of extras. Right, okay, let's put that in a mount. I quite like this colour mount. But I don't want any time wasters because it hurts for me to put it up now. Right, there we are. I put it on eBay as well with my phone number. Don't all rush. But we've had a lot of pleasure out of it, and it's still very good condition for its age. Oh, there we are. Just a simple little. I have to say this was inspired by Rick Tracy. He's on Facebook. He's making really good progress with his watercolours. So there we are. Just a walk in the country. Very simple sky. Doesn't compete. You don't want too much competing and clashing with each other. I'm going to put a bird in. Well, a couple of birds actually. A couple of rooks. Just coming into land on the tops of these trees. Probably overdone that, but anyway, there we are. Simple one. I don't know if I'm going to do any more today. Saturday tomorrow, I'll go and get the paper on the bike. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.